New leader as we approach the three-quarter mark and green flag pit stops in the Ford 300. Jeff Burton has just gone by Carl Edwards a minute ago from the pit studio with Rusty, Brad, and Ray, watching how Burton whistled on by Edwards.
I'll tell you, Burton has just got a fast car. I've been looking at his lap times, guys.
Inside. You just got to run off the corner.
And he is just solid all throughout the night. This last 25 laps have been really the fastest car on the track.
Just shoot him out back.
So Jeff Burton back out in front, and our aerial coverage from South Florida tonight, provided by Goodyear. New Fuel Max tires help you get there on less gas. Calculate your savings at GoodyearTires.com. Man, what a beautiful night it would be to be up in that blimp, too. Going to be a beautiful day to be up in the blimp or in the grandstands or in front of the TV tomorrow, for that matter, as we conclude the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. We'll have a full day of coverage for you, including our special AutoZone Sports Center. It's Sports Center at the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship, presented by AutoZone, 1 Eastern on ESPN2, leading right to our coverage of the Ford 400 at Homestead-Miami Speedway. That begins with NASCAR Countdown on ABC at 2:30 Eastern Time. We'll have NASCAR Nows at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m., including visits with the champion on the 10 p.m. Eastern show, and a full day of coverage as we conclude the NASCAR season tomorrow on the ESPN family of networks. As we approach the three-quarter mark of this race, just joining us, a little quick recap of some events of the day. Remember last week at Phoenix, Denny Hamlin said he would pay back Brad Keselowski. He did.
He did. He got into him, sent him for a little ride, spun him around. Looked like Brad was just a little bit loose coming off the corner, and Denny didn't mind obliging to help him around.
He had to oblige a one-lap penalty for rough driving by the NASCAR officials, and how about that? They started together, they're running back together on the track again.
It's funny when stuff like that happens. It just seems like you just can't keep those guys apart, but Danny did what he said he was going to do.
Keselowski running in 11th now, Hamlin 12th after getting a free pass and recovering from that lap penalty. And as we come up on some green flag pit stops, let's head back upstairs to Marty, DJ, and Andy. And Andy, I'm figuring around 145 or so for some of these leaders.
Yeah, I'd expect him any lap now, Alan. We've seen Jason Leffler. He was running up in the top 10. He came in, made his stop just a little bit earlier than some of these other leaders, but I expect him in soon.
And he has fallen back to 23rd. Let's also update you on Eric Darnell. He brushed the wall. He has gone 3 laps down in 32nd. And look who's together again. The 88 and the 11.
When you have things like this going on, it's just crazy in this business. You always find yourself right around.
All right, Kyle Busch has come into pit road for what should be his final stop. Dave?
He says, I am maxed out on grip. I am both tight and loose. You see the tire carrier on the front. He's carrying a piece of tape around in his mouth that he's going to slap on that car to get a little more downforce in it before they leave. They'll take on 4 fresh tires and air pressure adjustment. There goes the tape. And I think it's going to stick.
Well, either that or he was going to be going for a ride pretty soon. That was close. Jeff Burton, our race leader, still out there, leading Carl Edwards by 2 seconds. Here comes Joey Logano. He peels off from 3rd. Shannon, let's check in with you first.
David Rudiman says, help me with this car. It will not turn in the center. You see that chassis adjustment going on. 4 tires for the 32 of David Rudiman, looking for a great finish with his Braun Racing team. The last race of the year, guys. Who can get it done? Vince.
Taking a look at the 20 of Joey Logano. Remember, he was on the pole here last year, but finished 10th. Car's a little tight in the center, making 4 tires, 4-tire change. Sunoco fuel as well. Likes the car in clean air, but it's not so good in traffic. Jamie?
And Jeff, our leader, wants to pit now as well, but Matt Kenseth is 16. He has just not been happy. Remember, last pit stop, they did not make any adjustments. Looking to make track bar, air pressure, and 4 tires, fill it up with Sunoco fuel, see if he can get this car to come to life. And he's a rash driver. You guys have been talking about him. We'll see what he can do, Vince.
The 33 car of Ryan Newman, tight from the middle off. He says it gets tight one lap and then loose the next. It's weird, to quote Ryan Newman. The team's going to push the car after the stop because he's leaving in 2nd gear. Remember, he lost 1st gear last stop. Jamie?
And Jeff Burton was your leader when he peeled in. He said he's just lacking overall grip, air pressure adjustment. They work on the right side, go to the left side, track bar adjustment, fill it up as well, see if they can bring this car back to life and keep going in the right direction. It's been very solid tonight for Jeff Burton. Shannon?
Scott Speed in the 99 car has been reporting a vibration for about the past 15 laps. They're going to take 4 tires of fuel. Oh, he's having a hard time getting off pit road, guys. They're going to push it down. This is such a bad break for Scott Speed, who's having such a great run. Dave.
Brad Keselowski got track bar and wedge adjustment for a very loose race car, Vince.
The 60 of Carl Edwards. Remember, crew chief Mike Kelly still learning Carl's needs and wants in regards to the feel of the race car. They're having a problem getting the tear off the front of the car. 4 tire change. They're also going to make a wedge adjustment a little tight in the center, Dave.
Chassis adjustment for Jason, for the 12 car of Justin Allgaier, really tight in the center of the corner. That's been his problem, running back in the 18th position. So going for Rookie of the Year, but not having the kind of night he is looking for, he leaves pit road.
The leader is Stephen Wallace, who has not made his stop yet, as he is ahead of Mike Bliss. Bliss also on the track. There is Stephen. What was amazing about those pit stops, and there he is waving, he's coming in. Jeff Burton, a 20-second stop. Carl Edwards, a 17-second stop. What's going on?
It looks like nobody wants to win this race. Both the leaders having bad pit stops.
We're going to have to wait
to step it up.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait to see how this all shakes out. You see how hard that dropping down onto the flat area off the apron, as here comes Bliss along with Wallace. This will be their final stops, and that means Denny Hamlin is going to inherit the race lead. It'll be the #1 coming in, and let's go over the wall with our rear tire carrier, David Smith-Tilley. There's the 66 as well, as they're finishing up and waiting for fuel. And this is turning into a long stop.
Must be having trouble getting fuel in the car.
They're just trying to get enough in there to make sure, get it all filled up, make sure they got enough to get to the end, possibly.
We have 51 laps to go here at Homestead-Miami Speedway. So some lengthy pit stops. Denny Hamlin, Brendan Gaughan, Wimmer has not made their stops yet. They're running 1, 2, and 3. And we're being told that the 1 car of Mike Bliss is going to have a pass-through penalty. Now let's take a look. There's the tire rolling away. Oh, man. Oh, boy. And remember, Bliss is fighting for that 5th and final spot.
This is going to be very costly.
Straight through, Mike. Straight through. No stopping.
Yeah, it's going to put him a lap down.
If not 2. Let's go back to the 66 pit stop and see what happened.
Yeah, it's not. It only takes about 12, 13 seconds, maybe even less, to put a full tank of fuel in these cars. You see, they're making a chassis adjustment. See the gas men there. There's no second can to the car yet. They were waiting on that second can. You can see that was just a little miscue getting that car filled up with fuel, and that's what cost them so much time.
So Denny Hamlin, Brendan Gaughan still have not made their pit stops. So until we cycle through, we'll have to wait and see who ends up benefiting the most out of this. There is your race leader. Remember, he was penalized the 1 lap for the contact with the 88 of Brad Keselowski. That's Tony Raines right behind him. Raines not on the lead. Pardon me, he just went a lap down in 13th position. It is Denny Hamlin, Brendan Gaughan, and Scott Wimmer. Those are the 3 that have yet to pit. And then it will be Jeff Burton and Carl Edwards, 4th and 5th. So despite the 20-second pit stop, it looks like Jeff Burton, when it all cycles through, is going to inherit the race lead again.
Yeah, these are cars that made a pit stop after they had run about 10 or 12 laps under green. So they had a few extra laps cushion. They're going to run it on out here and see if they can catch a caution.
Yeah, and actually, Carl Edwards came out in front of Jeff Burton, but since they came back on the track, Jeff Burton has motored right on by and back in front of Carl Edwards.